Olá, olá, bom dia a todos. Bem-vindos ao nosso bate-papo hoje com a Bishop Kearney. Antes de começarmos, né, apenas aí me apresentando para quem não me conhece, eu sou a Andrea, eu sou representante de vendas da 3W no Brasil. Nós temos aqui hoje também a Mônica Santos, que é a nossa Student Experience Manager da 3W, pessoa que fica em contato com os alunos durante o programa, e a Jolene Bowser, que é a pessoa da Bishop Kearney responsável pelos nossos alunos internacionais e quem dá todo o apoio, todo o suporte aos nossos estudantes, tá? A proposta hoje aqui desse bate-papo é que vocês conheçam mais aqui sobre a escola e entendam a dinâmica do programa em relação à chegada de vocês, a parte de matérias, esportes, atividades, né? Então, todos vocês aqui estão matriculados em programa de curta duração, com embarque ou em dezembro ou em janeiro. Então, a ideia é que vocês se adaptem mais rapidamente através das orientações e informações que a Jolene vai passar aqui hoje para todos. Tá? Então, a orientação, quem vai conduzir é a Jolene, e ao final vocês terão aí uma oportunidade para fazer perguntas em português, em inglês, como vocês preferirem, tá bom? Mais dois recadinhos apenas. Aqui a orientação ficará gravada, caso alguém não pôde estar aqui online, né? Acontece, então depois vocês podem repassar para outra pessoa, assistir novamente. E a apresentação também, o PowerPoint em si, a gente vai compartilhar com vocês. Então, né, não se preocupem em anotar tudo que está aqui, porque vocês vão receber todas essas informações, tá bom? Jolene, thank you so much for being here today. Thanks for your time. And your show now, you can start the presentation.
Great. Andrea, thank you so much. And as Andrea said, my name is Jolene Bowser. I'm the International Program Director at Bishop Kearney High School. And a lot of times I get called the mom of Bishop Kearney because for our international students, I'm that kind of first point of contact for the students when they come to school and when they have questions. And I'm here communicating with the students, with our partners at 3W, and with families. So thank you all for joining us. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about Bishop Kearney. So we are located in Rochester, New York. And as you can see here, our motto is do all things well. So we are a private Catholic school. We do have grades 6 through 12. And we believe in, a quality character education and doing all things well. So while your students are here, we hope and pray that they are going to have that positive, good education and experience of being abroad. Our school is about 420 students. We do have some boarding students who are a part of an ice hockey program here at Bishop Kearney, but predominantly our international students are living with host families. And they're living in the suburbs pretty much around Rochester, New York. Bishop Kearney is located in Irondequoit, which is kind of north and central of the city. And then, so we're a very centrally located place, and our students are all coming from around the city. Go ahead, Andrea. And here's just a quick picture of Rochester at night. This is my hometown. I love it here. I was born here, raised here. I've stayed here. And I always say to students, it's a great place to live and study. And you can go ahead, Andrea, and we can just talk about some of the things that are here in the next slide. We're sort of a mid-sized city. We're right on Lake Ontario. We have a really good, strong history with different companies here, lots of great universities. I like to take our students to some of the universities around the area so they can see what American universities look like. And it's a very interesting place. We have beaches. Your students will be here in the winter time, so they probably won't go to the beach. But we do also have, skiing resorts around the region, lots of lakes, lots of hiking. I do a lot of winter activities during our short-term programs because we have a lot of things to do here as well. All right, and you can go ahead, Andrea. Our student population is very diverse. We're one of the most diverse schools in this area. We have 16 different school districts locally, 27 different states, so students coming from all over the country, as well as 20 different countries in the last school year. Brazil being one of our bigger populations of students throughout the year, and Canada, as well as our neighbors to the north. But we do have students coming from all over. And okay, go ahead. Now, I understand that your students here today are probably coming for a short term, but if you were looking to stay longer and graduate from Bishop Kearney, that is a possibility. And if anyone was ever interested, they could talk to us about that. Our graduation requirements, though, are higher than what New York State requires. And so you can see here where a lot of Bishop Kearney's requirements for graduation exceed the state requirement and prepare students for university. In the next slide, Andrea, we have a list, I believe, of all the different kinds of courses we offer. That's one of the nice things that students get when they come, especially from Brazil. Our students get to try a lot of different classes. We have a lot of electives in the sciences, history. We have a TV production class that students really like to get involved in. So this list it's quite long, and it gives you just a sense of what kinds of things we're doing here at Bishop Kearney. Okay. And among of those classes, we do offer a lot of advanced placement courses. There's, I believe 14, there might be one missing from this slide, but we have also college dual credit courses that students who are here longer term can earn. But these courses are what prepare students for college, and sometimes they may earn college credit. In the picture there, you can see our TV studio. We have the actual studio itself with a green screen and all the state-of-the-art technology, and a control room that students learn how to use, and they produce the news on a daily basis for the school. And I should probably talk about this actually. Can we go back 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
And talk about this block schedule? In the United States, many schools have 8 classes every day, and they're 42 to 45 minutes long, and they have, a short amount of time in each of those classes. And I realize that's different from many other countries, but at Bishop Kearney, our schedule is a block schedule. So you're going to take 8 to 10 classes each day, and they alternate. So Tuesday, Thursday classes are different from the Wednesday, Friday classes. They're about 65 minutes each, so it's more closely like a college experience, also more like a European, or maybe in Brazil, the longer classes that students might encounter. And students have a 40-minute lunch in our cafeteria where they can sit and they can buy lunch, they can bring lunch, or they can, hang out with their friends. And this is the time of day where students like to use their phones, because the phones are not allowed any other time of the day. So it's a kind of a social hour during the middle of the day for students, as well as their lunch. Okay. This year is just a couple of pictures of some of our recent graduates and students at Bishop Kearney. We really believe in our students being supported so that they're successful. We don't believe in just allowing students to come here and sink or swim. We really provide a lot of support. So I'm also the English as a second language teacher. So I have students who work with me if their English proficiency is lower. We have teachers who work on academic support for students who might struggle. And we offer different tutoring opportunities as well, and test prep. So again, if students are looking to stay longer, those are things that we offer. Our short-term students don't really take advantage of those because they're here just for a short amount of time. Okay. And just a quick look at some of our famous and notable alumni. Pam Relroy, we're very proud of her. She is the assistant or deputy administrator of NASA. So very, very high position in United States organization there. And then also we have Thomas Bryant, who's a NBA player. He's done very well for himself, and he comes back frequently and does camps and things for our students. So we're really very proud of our alumni, and we try to get our alumni to come back and be involved as much as possible. And I think it speaks to how long Bishop Kearney has been here and how successful we've been over those 60 some years. Okay. And let's see. We pretty much have a 99% college acceptance rate. Our students are going to big universities. We have quite a few students who go to Ivies or other Ivies that are not the top, Ivies, but we're producing students who are getting a quality education and are prepared for university. So we're very proud of that. I find that our Brazilian students come and when they come to school here, they also are very, they're ready for the rigor of the courses here. And sometimes they are a year ahead of where American students are typically. So I know that that's a difference in the schooling systems, where in Brazil you spend a lot more time on academics, whereas in the United States, obviously academics is important, but there's more to the school life for the students. And that's what your children will have a chance to experience. Go ahead, Andrea. One of the things at Bishop Kearney that's kind of an example of this is the house system. So kind of like in Harry Potter, we have the 4 houses and students are separated into these houses at the beginning of the year. Each new student, even if they're short term, gets a house assigned to them. They have a homeroom with students who are from their house. So they have a small mentor group that they get to know those students a little bit better. And they're not just their same age. They could be, 11th graders with 9th graders. This house system allows students to become leaders and lead different things at the school, like some of our retreats. And we have friendly competition. So each house is competing for the house cup. And it's a really good program for students to be able to develop friendships outside of the typical group that they would be with, maybe their interests. So it helps to integrate our students into the school. It's been really good for our international students who have a way to kind of connect with students when they first arrive here. Okay. And again, we have clubs and activities. So another way that students in the US are getting involved in their life is kind of surrounding activities at school, being involved in things like book club or esports or the campus ministry. These are just a sampling of some of our courses or our club offerings. And sometimes students say, there's not a club that I want to be in. And I say, well, okay, let's form it. I am trying to empower students to do that. And so now we have the coding club as an example of that, where students are leading the club because that's what they wanted to see. So we really support that. We have a really strong theater program. So if any of the students coming short-term want to be involved with that, it is time for the musicals. So we'll be having the auditions coming up here shortly during that time. We also have stage crews, so students can learn how to do the behind-the-scenes work as well. And then, of course, we have sports, which I think is our next slide. Yes. Yep. So for the short term, our students are coming during the winter season here in Rochester. So we do offer quite a few other sports, but during the winter time, we're offering indoor track and field, basketball, and bowling. And those are both for boys and girls. Unfortunately, wrestling didn't work out this year, but we're hoping to bring wrestling back for the boys next year. But those 3 are open. There's no cuts. We don't cut our students. So students get to be a part of a team, whether they have skill in that sport or not. They get to have those friendships and learn the valuable lessons of teamwork. I really try to get our students involved, so I will pressure your students to be involved with something outside of just academics, whether it's a sport or a club. I will encourage them to get involved. Okay. Okay, and like I mentioned earlier, one of the things that sets us apart is that we have a dedicated office for the international students, and that is me. I do have one person in the building who is also helping me now, so with a few things, but we work on advising students, so making sure they're following rules and regulations with their visas. We do regular meetings to kind of help students adapt, be in, if they have questions, how do I do with this kind of thing? What's going on during the month? Kind of those kinds of meetings. I do orientation when the students arrive, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And again, if students are staying long-term, I work with them, the counselors work with them on college search and support. So we do some of that as well. And I stay in regular communication. So if you ever have questions, you know that you'll be able to contact your agents and Monica or Andrea, and you'll get to me. And I am very open and easy to communicate with. So I think Andrea's nodding her head.
That's true.
So, you know, I really do. I make myself available to parents if they have questions or concerns, and I try to support our students as much as possible without doing too much for them. You know, that balance of letting them be independent and making decisions, but also being supported. Okay, go ahead, Andrea.
Oops. Oh, yeah.
And okay, and this is just a little bit more about progress monitoring. Again, students coming from for a short term aren't going to be really using these services, but we do offer it. If we go back one slide.
Yeah, I'll go back. It's
yeah,
just
this is
my computer probably. Okay. We are here, right?
The social one.
The social one?
Yeah, next.
Okay.
Yes. So I try to provide a lot of opportunities for our students to go on regular trips, to be involved, to do community service, to have team building exercises with international students and with American students, so that they're getting connections with people, not just international students, because our students will often be drawn to people who speak the same language. And so I try to really get them to branch out, and we do these different activities to help support that. On our next slide, you can see college visits are one of the things that we do. And I will talk about more of the specific things that are coming up this winter in a little bit. So go ahead, Andrea. Okay, so host families. So one of this is an important part, is that most of our international students are living with host families. At Bishop Kearney, I'm the person who is choosing the host families. I do all the background checks through school. I meet with them, I visit their homes, I have extensive conversations with them and then I match our students to the family that I think is going to be a really good fit for them, so they have the best experience. And I'm in constant contact, like with Monica and Andrea, I'm in constant contact with our host parents to, you know, check on things, how are things going, support them and your children as well. Okay. So let's get more specific about the upcoming winter short-term experiences. So when you arrive, your host family will be the one that's picking you up. You should look for a sign with your name. If there's, you know, if there's any changes in travel, WhatsApp the families know to use WhatsApp, and so that you can communicate with them. I think most of our students, if they don't have their host family assignment, they'll be getting it soon. That it will be well enough before they arrive that they'll be able to communicate with those host parents and make sure that everybody has all the information. And if for some reason there's like a conflict with things, I'm also occasionally picking students up. So someone will be there at the airport for you, look for your name and a smile, and we will get you started. Our first day when you come to school will be an orientation. So it's a short-term experience. It's going to go fast, and I don't want to spend too much time on orientation. I want you to get into it, but we will spend the first hour and a half of the first day. When you come to school, you'll meet with me. You will, if you haven't gotten a schedule before that, you'll get your schedule, you'll get a locker, you'll get a tour of the building. I will give you your uniform shirts. All of that's kind of done on that first day. And then once we go through all of that, we will send you off to class to dive in. And if we could go to the next slide, Andrea, I think I have, yes, a little bit more things about orientation. So I do like to tell students, when you come on the first day, wear your uniform, pants, and shoes. So at Bishop Kearney, we have more of a dress code than a uniform. So you can choose to wear khaki pants, blue or black dress pants. And you can kind of see in the picture here, there's some variation in what students are wearing. And we ask students to wear solid shoes or black or white solid color sneakers tennis shoes. So I chose this picture too because we're on a trip, but you can see that most of our students are following the dress code. And so the shirts or skirts, if girls want to wear a skirt, I will provide those that day that you come for the first day of orientation. But if you want to wear your pants and sneakers, that's a good way to start. So plan on that. If you don't have that for some reason, you can't find something that fits your needs, we do have like a uniform closet at school that we can take a look and provide you with that if you need it. But typically students like to wear their own things, so you have some choice. On this orientation day, we'll do introductions. You'll meet me, you'll meet some different important people in the school. You'll also meet any of the other new students who are starting on the same day as you. For our short-term students, that may be 1 or 2 students. You might be the only one starting that day, so it'll just pretty much be me giving the orientation with you, but sometimes there's a couple of students starting at the same time. We go over expectations, and I believe, Andrea, all the students do get the student handbook ahead of time, so
yeah, we already sent them.
Yep, so you should definitely look that over ahead of time, be familiar, at least have gone through it. There's nothing out of the ordinary, really. It's basic expectations for school, but we do go over a few things. Like I said, you'll get your schedules, and I'll show you how it works, where you're going. We do a tour of where everything is in the building, and then we practice running through your schedule, so you'll know which classes to go in which order. And again, like I said, the locker assignment, every student gets a locker. We practice them, how to use them. They can be sometimes a little tricky, but you will probably want to wear a coat to school during this time, and because it is going to be cold when you come to school. So if you are wearing a coat, you're going to want to be able to use your locker. And then we'll have a time for questions and answers during that time, and then we jump in so that you get the most out of the few short months or month that you're here. Okay, go ahead, Andrea.
Is it frozen?
And might be. There it goes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So during the short-term experience, I'm planning typically 1 activity every week. Maybe something during the weekday, but typically on the weekends. These are a couple of pictures from things that we've done over the past couple of years or earlier this school year. But for upcoming December, January timeframe, some of the things that we'll be doing, we'll go ice skating at an outdoor ice skating rink during the time when we have the holiday village. It's like a holiday Christmas market feel. Kids love to do that. If you can hear that, that's our bell.
Yeah, we can hear that. It's good. Students, get familiar already with the bell.
Yes, so that's the bell that signals the end of a class. In the wintertime, so we do outdoor activities, but we do some indoor activities like escape rooms or indoor rock climbing. You can see in the lower right-hand corner, Arthur in the blue shirt, one of our Brazilian students he was rock climbing last year. Again, depending on how much snow we have, so this can vary from year to year, but I like to plan a ski day or ski snowboard day. We have to wait for it to snow and have enough snow that the ski resorts are open, but I try to do that, and that's planned. We're just waiting for the snow. I will try to do a university visit, probably to the Rochester Institute of Technology. We're a partner with them, and they have a really great big campus. So it's a great way for our students to see what a very typical American university looks like. We'll do some different trips around Rochester, depending on what's available. In the past, we've done things like holiday activities or hiking activities, things like that. In the winter, we also have our Foreign Film Fridays. And actually, this is going to be taken over by one of our senior students who's going to lead that and help organize it. 1 time a month during the winter, we show a film from a country one of our students at Bishop Kearney is from, and then we typically have cuisine from that country as well. And everyone from the school is invited to participate in that and learn about our students' culture through film and food. And important for our students coming in January, we have our winter formal dance. It is scheduled for January 24th. I believe it's a Friday night. And if you can see the picture here of Julia and Maria, they're also from Brazil. They were here with us last year. This is kind of the style that the students were wearing last year for the winter. It was kind of a more semi-formal. So some of our students wore longer gowns, some of our students wore shorter gowns, the boys wore suits, and it's a really nice time. We go off campus and rent a clubhouse in a nearby golf course. And again, a lot of this is student planned and prepared, so student centered as well. It's a really fun time. Okay, and our next slide, I think that's the end. So I think we can go ahead and open up for questions.
Yeah. Yes, Jolene, and the holiday village is amazing, by the way. You took me there, remember?
I did take you there, yes. That was one of the coldest days ever.
Yeah, but it was really nice. Yeah. I'll check if anyone has questions.
Okay.
Pessoal, se vocês tiverem aí alguma dúvida, coloquem ali, vocês têm uma ferramenta PIR, que é de perguntas e respostas, vocês conseguem colocar lá, tá? Eu já vou me antecipar, eu vou fazer uma pergunta aqui para Jolene. Jolene, can you talk about lunch? Should students bring lunch from home, or is it provided by the school?
So lunch with our program, students are provided 3 meals a day. So host families are responsible for that, whether they want to bring food or if they would like to buy food, the host family is responsible for providing them $6 per day that they would like to buy a lunch. Sometimes that's usually enough. If students want more than that, then they would need to provide that themselves. And the lunches that are offered, oh, wait a minute, sorry. Okay. So we have two lines in the lunchroom where we have a hot meal option. So they typically have like French fries or chicken strips or something rotating that's every day. There's something that's most people like. And then they have other options like a stir fry bowl or like the bowls are the new thing with like rice and different meat and things like that. And then we have a cold line where students get salads or sandwiches. So that's the expectation, is that host families are providing that. We have an account that students, they just type in their number and the money comes out of the account. So meals are provided, and if your child wants to buy the lunch, they just have to talk to their host parents about that. And there's a menu so they know what lunch is ahead of time, and they can make decisions about that in advance. What the other thing with lunch is, I have found that typically our international students don't like to buy lunch. That's not true of everyone, but I find that a lot of students prefer to bring a lunch, either bringing leftovers from meals or sandwiches and things like that. One, because they don't like to wait in the line for lunch, and two, because of the health option, those reasons. They want to be they're more health conscious, and they don't want to have French fries and chicken strips for lunch. And we do have microwaves in the building, in the cafeteria, so students can heat up lunches if they want to bring something. So
okay, perfect. And another question we usually have is about transportation to and from school. Is usually done by the family, or is the bus, the yellow bus?
So typically, well, it depends. And I'm thinking for our students that are coming now, I think most of them will be getting a ride to school with their host parent. Or like a family member who, like, for example, one of our host parents' sisters works here, and so she brings them to school. Some of them are riding a bus, but this year I don't think that's I don't think it's true this year, but in the past, some of our students, they have access to yellow school bus. And I've provided host families information so they can set that up if that's necessary, but most of them don't use that.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. We have a couple of questions. So Renata is asking about Christmas and the end of the year. So the family is going to be responsible for the student. Yes. I'm going to answer that in Portuguese after. And is there any activities during this break period? Are you planning anything?
Yes, so I definitely plan activities during the holiday break. So we have a 2-week time where there's no school. So I will plan some different activities for students who are here. I'm working on if we can do a little bit longer trip. So I don't have final details on that yet, but I do provide some activities so that students are not just sitting at home doing nothing. A lot of times families who have children at school, they have some things planned that they'll do, but they're not going to be sitting home doing nothing. They'll obviously participate in the family holiday activities, but I will have additional day trips or potentially some longer trips. I'm still working on some of those specifics and dates and who's going to be here for that. So I have to work on that.
Ok, great. Renata, só respondendo aqui em português, tá? Para ver se ficou claro. Sim, a família é responsável, né? Então, o estudante fica com a família durante esse break de Natal e Ano Novo. E sim, a escola promove atividades durante esse período, assim como ela vai fazer aí algumas atividades com a própria família também. Então, é um período de vamos colocar aí descanso para aproveitar com a família, mas também a escola vai organizar atividades. Então, como a Jolene falou, a pessoa aí, o estudante não vai ficar entediado, tá bom? Pode ficar tranquila. Jolene, we have another question from Maria Luisa about the boarding school. Is there any specific time of the day for shower, or I don't know, maybe there's a specific time in the schedule for that?
So yes, and for Maria Luisa, like I'm going to go over with her the schedule and we'll talk about times, but there should be time in the morning for showering before school starts. And a lot of the girls actually like to shower in the evening. So there are times, and usually girls who share the same bathroom, they work it out together of their schedule and when to take that. It's pretty, like, I know that some of the kids have, like, on a couple of days, they have longer breaks of free time. And some of the girls like to take their showers early and get it out of the way so they don't have to fight for prime time for showering. But we'll go over when those, like, windows of time are. So with Maria Luisa, we'll have a separate kind of residence hall orientation where we go through some of those specific things.
Ok, sounds good. Maria Luísa, então só para ficar claro, né? Ela comentou que sim, em geral aí de manhã e no final do dia, até para uma questão de organização do boarding, né? E se você for dividir o banheiro aí com os outros estudantes, vocês também se organizam entre si para que ninguém fique sem tomar banho, né? Mas ela vai passar com você, como você vai ficar em boarding, né? No boarding da escola, ela vai fazer com você durante a orientação um período um pouquinho ali maior, só para te passar os horários certinhos, tá? Para quem está hospedado nos dormitórios. Jolene, we have a question about the uniform. Is they can wear jeans or not?
No, it should be dress pants or like casual dress pants, so black, blue, or khaki. Some students wear black jeans that don't look too much like jeans, but denim jeans, like the blue denim, they shouldn't be wearing unless it's a dress down day, and students get that information ahead of time when that will be. The black jeans, mostly it's not a problem. But if they look like, they should look more presentable. They shouldn't look distressed or
too jeansy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they should look more like dressier pants.
Okay. And how about, the shirts? Yes, you're giving them, and sweatshirt. Yeah, also.
So If I have some that are still available that I can give depending if students want them. But they typically, we have a school store, so if they want to buy the quarter zip sweatshirt, there's some nicer, newer ones that they might prefer to buy. I didn't check on the prices, but I can look on that and give you I could send you that information to find out what that is. The new ones look much nicer. So I think kids have been like trying to buy those now.
Yeah.
You just write that.
And it's also a souvenir to bring home.
Yes, exactly. And again, with the uniform shirts, students can keep them if they choose to, or they can donate them back to us. But usually kids keep one or two, like a sweatshirt and a polo, because, you know, it's a memory. But you can also give them back to us and if they're in good condition as well.
Ok. Sounds good. Renata, então não pode jeans, tá? O que ela comentou é que se for aquele jeans, né? Vamos colocar jeans preto, que não tem tanta cara de jeans, tudo bem, pode ser, mas em geral precisa ser um pouco mais formal, tá? E as camisetas, né? A escola vai sim dar para os estudantes. Já o moletom, o estudante pode comprar. Tem uma lojinha dentro da escola, tá? Que tem várias peças. Então tem moletom, tem até mesmo touca, como é que chama? Scarf, eu esqueci o nome. Mônica, como é que é? Cachecol, luva, então tem coisinhas assim, tá? Que o estudante pode comprar, né? Além das camisetas se ele quiser, tá bom? Então a camiseta é dada para ele, o restante ele providencia. E é bacana porque tem várias opções legais, depois pode trazer de volta para o Brasil. Jolene, I think we don't have any other questions.
Okay.
It was great. Thank you so much for your time. It was really productive. And we will send this record to the students that were not able to be here live. They will watch. And in case we have any other questions, we'll let you know. And please share with us the pricing of the sweatshirts. I think that's very helpful for us.
Okay, very good. Okay. Thank you all too. I appreciate it and look forward to seeing you students very soon. And I look forward to talking with your parents too, eventually.
Thank you. Thank you, Jolene. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Tchau, pessoal. Obrigada.